What's up, guys, and welcome back to Bri2J Presents. I'm your host, Bri2J, and today's action figure review is going to be on the WWE Elite, I think Series 84, Edge, based off his return appearance in the 2020 Royal Rumble. And honestly, his return to the Royal Rumble, to wrestling even, is one of the best moments outside of the birth of my daughters to happen in 2020. Side note, before I get into the action figure review, I just want to apologize for taking a while since my last review. I'll get into more detail in a solid video just talking about that sometime later. But right now, let's talk about Mattel's take on Adam Edge Copeland. So I really almost started this video by saying on this day. That's a play on words, as on this day, it seems real to me, everything has come to life, by Metalingus, which is Alter Bridge, which is Edge's theme song. And also, Michael Cole, when Edge returned at the 2020 Royal Rumble, he yelled out, "On this day!" So, I almost used that, but I chose not to. As much as I love puns and being fun on this channel, as you guys remember, I hope you remember that I used to always try to be funny on this thing. Because it's not about anything but fun with toys. Forget what you heard. It's all about fun with toys. This is why we do this. This is why we're action figure reviewers, okay? Alright, rant over. But before I get into the video, before I talk in-depth detail about Mattel's take on Edge, I want to just be real for a second and thank Manny, or X-Manny87, one of my closest, nearest, and dearest friends for life. Because without his inspirational video, I wouldn't be determined to be one of the greatest action figure reviewers you guys watch. In the smaller scale, of course. And to those who have stayed around on this channel over the last 9 to almost 10 months since my last video, thank you. Thank you for sticking around because I needed this. Alright. Rant's officially over. Manny, I love you. You're one of my closest friends. But let's talk about Adam Edge Copeland, in Mattel form, of course. So, I picked this figure up, 4 months ago at Target. I think it was 4 months ago. It's been a minute. So I got this guy at Target really unexpectedly, and I'm not big on collecting wrestlers. I used to way back in like the early 2000s, long before YouTube was a thing, right? But I still remember watching the pay-per-view in my old apartment with my wife, who was pregnant at the time, because again, our daughters were born later that year, and 4 other good friends of mine and I sat down in my crappy apartment, put on the pay-per-view, back when it was still on the WWE Network, before Peacock, and when Edge showed up at the Royal Rumble in 2020, we all friggin' screamed. See, I didn't curse, because I'm sticking with that. We all friggin' screamed, and yeah, now I have him in plastic form, and honestly, Mattel did a fantastic job. Only gripes I have is an alternate set of hands, but I'll get into that later, okay? So, without any further ranting or whatever you want to call it, here's Edge. They sculpted this figure perfectly, all right? Actually, one other tiny little flaw, but I'll talk about that when I get into that part, okay? First, let's take a look at the face sculpt, right? So, here is Adam Edge Copeland, and I really have to say, they nailed it. They gave him that older man Great in the beard look. That smirk that he has. Perfect hair coloring. This figure just screams Edge. The details on the coat from that night, I should say, are perfectly done as well. Proper paint detailing all around. The coat on mine, it's kinda, I just actually noticed this 5 minutes before recording. It does say rated for rated R, because he's the rated R superstar. But it looks like it says rat and then a D. So I don't know what happened there with the paint. Not complaining. I love the figure. And also it was the only figure on the peg in Target at that time. And I have been to Target every weekend because I have kids and they require a lot. And of course, buying, you know, the essentials like diapers and wipes and sunscreen. Dad also check the toy aisle because that's why I'm really in Target, not because of diapers and wipes and whatnot. Anyway, should I change this? Should I change my handle from Bri2J to Dad? Dad video. Dad presents. No, I'm just kidding. I'm forever Bri2J. So here's a look at the studs on the jacket. The R and the star came out really good too. Proper paint work and texture and whatnot there. The faded-ish rated R logo there. Really good looking coat. I'm not going to discuss the paint work on his tights yet because there's something really cool about this figure, which I'll tell you in a minute. So, Edge comes with a couple of different accessories. And this is where I'll get into one gripe about what he doesn't come with. So, the John Cena figures, which I do have 2 Cena figures from Mattel, because I'm a Cena fan despite not being able to see him in anything he's in. I mean, I heard he was in Fast 9, couldn't see him. I heard he was in Suicide Squad, couldn't find him. Lil Rel and the rest of the cast were just basically talking to air because he was totally not in Vacation Friends. Couldn't find him in blockers. So you tell me if you could see Cena. Okay, I had to be funny a little bit, right? Because it's me, and I'm always funny. It's what I do. Anyway, so I really missed reviewing figures for you guys. So let's get back into point here. So before I get talking about the figure itself, let me talk about what he comes with, okay? So first, he comes with an alternate head. And this one is interesting because this is him running. Oops, dropped it. So this is him running, right? And from certain angles, it looks like Edge. But then you're like, wait, what am I staring at? And basically the head just pops off really quick. There's the little ball peg right there. Really easy to just pop the new head on. All right. And so, like, if you want to have him kind of bend in that, like, Edge hair flip thing, which is great to see him with the long hair again, because when he cut it after he retired in 2011, I was kind of like, oh, you look different. But also, so did I. I cut my hair, and I grew it back sort of recently, and, you know, actually was starting to look like Edge for a while with the beard until I just buzzed it the other day, but, that's a story for another day. So you can balance this guy. It might take me a minute, so I'm just going to hold him because I've been posing him a lot and I'm already seeing some looseness right there at the thigh, but a little bit of floor cleaner or nail polish or whatever will help. So that's him running with me holding him in place right there. And it looks cool and all. So yeah, like, I guess if you want to have them, like, do the metal horns and just sort of mimic as best you can from that return video, which I actually watch over and over and over again, because it's probably one of the best returns for that company. But we all know what return was louder. and we'll get into that in another video. But, sorry, I keep going off point here. It's only because I missed you guys, right? But yeah. So, Edge with the metal horns and the hair thing and the face. Pretty solid figure, you know, for that. And I don't think I'm ever going to keep this head on this body. But aside from that, so let's just pose Edge doing some sort of weird, like, hooray thing. You get these alternate arms because you can take the coat off, and it'd be weird to have a, you know, no coat body and then coated arms like we do with Marvel Legends from time to time. Not sure how good the camera's picking this up, but they really nailed Edge's tattoos. And these shoulder pads or elbow pads can slide, so you don't have to really worry about that. They're not sculpted. There's the other tattoo on that arm right there. And then you have Edge's original tattoo from when we first ever saw Edge. And then that tattoo down there. Same thing with the elbow pad. You could slide it. I'll slide one down so you can see that these are double jointed. So you can see the pegs right there. Double jointed elbows. I'll slide this back up. Alright, it slides up pretty easy. That's actually the first time I really did that. But they slide up and down really easy. So let's talk about the details on the body of Edge without the coat, right? So really simple. Let's get rid of this running, screaming head. Arms, they take a second because it's been a minute. They just unplug. Okay, so unplug that guy. Sorry if the camera shook and this went off camera for a second. You just do the little, well, there's a little socket right there, right? You just take this guy here and go, you guys built figures before. Come on, you're all collectors that watch my channel or anybody else's channel. All right, you just plug that guy in right there, and then you got this lifeless body with a neck peg, and you just plug Edge's head right there. And then you go Edge ready to wrestle, right? And this looks great. I love the look of this figure. I would have bought a secondary one of this guy at the time if they had it, and if I see him on the peg again, I will buy it. Not paying scalper prices, not without a job, but that's a story for another day. So this guy right here looks ready for articulation, right? Let me show you guys real quick the coated arms. There is the hinge there. So you got that. There's bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, again, swivel and hinge. So everything's the same here, right? Everything is perfect with these arms. So you can get plenty of articulation with Edge for the arms. He does have a, a diaphragm swivel here. Oops, I popped his head off right there for Edge's floating head action. I'm only kidding. Does turn there. Back a little bit. This keeps popping off the head there, or the neck joint rather. Swivel right there. Kick forward. Kick about that far back. Thigh cut. Double jointed knees. These also feel like they shift. Yep, they do. That is perfect, so you don't miss out on anything there. Boot rotation. Toe hinge. Really tight ankle articulation. Is it better on this one? Yes. Really tight articulation. There is some sort of ankle pivot, which is great, and you can get Edge into wrestling poses. I don't have any other wrestlers available right now, but if I wanted to say have him wrestle, who's up here right now? You guys are going to laugh at this old guy right here, but Mezco's original Spider-Man classic. So let's see, are they going to scale together? So, definitely taller than Spider-Man. But you, I guess, can get him to, hug it out and whatnot. It's all good. You're okay. Anyway, that's just, again, me being funny. So Edge does have a lot of articulation there. I already went over the details on the tattoos. Let's go over the details on the tights. This is Edge's return logo right there on his tights there. The Rated R logo on his knee pads and boots. Same logo on the other side there. Here are my gripes, guys. The only gripes. The lack of chest hair on Edge. There are other versions of this figure, minus the coat, that has chest hair. Okay, so Mattel decided not to give us paint right there. All good. It's a minor little thing. But also not having open hands. Like, I would have liked this. Because Edge, you'll see from time to time when he's about to do a spear, he'll comb his hand through his hair. So that would have been cool, but I guess you could probably take the John Cena hands and swap them, because these hands do unplug from here, right? So let's just do that right there, and take this guy out right here, and then we'll take out the metal horns from the coat, and just like that. So there's that right there. And they do plug in proper. So you can't have Edge do his, you know, I'm a rock star thing, you know, with the coat not being on, right? Let me raise my camera so you can see it a little bit better. Sorry, guys. It's been a minute. So you got that right there. And, of course, you can take the alternate, the alternate hands there, and then pop in the grip hands on the coat. So that's really cool that you have that option. So, like, put his coat back on here. So say you just want to have him just relax with the coat. Arms come out really easy once again. To put the coat on, it's a very soft, pliable material that we've gotten with a lot of other figures from other companies and whatnot. And it just slips right over here. I'll take the head off, it's easier. So now put the head back on. And plug the arm right in like that. We'll plug other arm in like that, and you can just have Edge relaxed going to the ring. So that is really cool. This is one of the best figures in the wrestling world that I've collected in a really long time. Whew. All right, so that's it for my that's it for my Edge review. Thanks, you guys, for sticking around. Thank you guys for hoping I'd come back. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends and whatnot about that. You can find me on the Inner City Geeks podcast, which goes up every Monday on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. So I've been back with the podcasting for quite some time as well. You can also check out some articles I've written for geekanything.com. I got a couple that I wrote, and I got a couple on the way. And of course, follow me on all social media. I'm on Instagram, especially a lot, at Bri2J Presents, and then Bri2J if you just want my regular, boring old Instagram. Twitter, BRI_2J. I've been tweeting a lot lately because I kind of lay off Facebook as much as I can. Yeah, so with all that being said, thank you guys for sticking around with me. I got many other videos lined up. I don't care that they've been reviewed months earlier by other people. You know me, this is about fun. I like to do it my way. With that all being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
That's crispy.